So you can hear me. Apologies for that. Welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Thanks for joining me today. Apologies, I'm a few minutes early. And you can hear my horrible voice there. Apologies, I'm a few minutes early. I did actually want to see if I can get myself under control a little bit early today so that I can head to an open home with my children in an hour or so. So thought I'd get on a little bit early and hopefully show you these beautiful cards and get to the open home at the same time. It's an exciting time when your children are old enough to start looking for homes of their own. Yeah, a bit scary actually, but anyway, all good. So as I say, thanks for joining me. I'm just checking that my lights is okay and my sound is okay. I've already heard myself, which isn't great. And the colour is a little bit dark, but that's okay. We can live with that. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm just making sure that I can see all the chats when they come through, so that's great. Okay, so today I thought I'd do something a little bit different for me anyway. I'm actually came across a beautiful, well, I think beautiful, sort of basic design for a card when I was sort of cruising around social media and stuff recently. And I sort of set myself a bit of a challenge to see whether I could recreate this design using all 5 colours from our new In Colours range, which is in the new catalogue. So we've got some lovely new In Colours there, and you'll see all of them being used today. Plus, I've also got a bit of a thing at the moment for our blending brushes. So I'm going to be using those in each of these designs as well. Plus, you know, a little bit of the ribbon and some of the new stamp sets that are coming out or are out in the new catalogue. So this is the paper I'm going to be using, and it's a 6-inch or 15 centimetre square paper, and it has examples of all the new In Colours in there. So we've got our Evergreen, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Polished Pink and Soft Succulent in there. So there's different colours there. And the thing I like or don't like about the smaller sized paper is that you make one card. So say you make a 4x6 card and you've got sort of a 2-inch strip down the edge that you can't use or it's, you know, you don't know what to do with. So this design that I've made today actually will help you use that 2-inch strip that you have left over down the side. So yeah, I thought that was really great. So from now on, I'm going to be saving all my 2-inch strips and doing this particular design with them. So you actually sort of focus on the 2-inch strip of cardstock on one side, the blending on the other side, and the really, really pretty whatever pattern you use or whatever stamp set you decide to use sort of as a focal point down the middle. So please hang around for the whole video if you can, because at the end I will be asking, sort of on a little bit spontaneous, asking you guys to contribute which bundle or stamp set you'd like to see me feature in the very last card, because I haven't actually designed that. So I thought we'd have a bit of a fun to see how well I can think on my feet. If you tell me which bundle you want me to use, we'll see what I can come up with for the very last card. So once you get the idea, once you see me do a few, you'll get the idea of what I'm getting at. And then you can just tell me which bundle you think you'd like me to use. Okay, so I've done 2 examples here. So these are the only ones I've got prepared completely. This one is the Pale Papaya version of the design. So you can see I've got the Pale Papaya paper strip down one side. I've got the sponging with the mask to the left-hand side, and then I've used the wonderful Sweet as a Peach bundle to sort of highlight that central section there. So this one's really, really, I think that's my favourite so far. We'll see how we go. And this one I've used the colour and contour bundle with the soft succulent. So this is the soft, beautiful soft green from the In Colours. Again, we've got a strip of the paper, we've got the blending, and then a highlight strip of the beautiful images from the soft succulent bundle there, which I really, really love. And they have been coloured in, you know, first first generation and second generation soft succulent as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll pop that one aside. I've actually prepared what I need to make this one again for you today. So we'll go with making a replica of this one, just because I love it so much, and I think I'll probably use that for my personal. You need this in my personal stash as well. So I'll just grab out. I've got everything mostly cut and die cut, but I've got them all here in one, so I might have to make sure I bring the right things out when I bring it out. Okay, yep, that looks like it's it. I'll just pop everything to the side. So the also good thing with this design is that we only actually need one piece of cardstock. So I've got my normal basic white thick card base here, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 scored in the middle to give me my normal card base. And that is, apart from our little bits and bobs and our design series paper, the only cardstock you'll actually need for this card. So what I'm going to do is grab my specific blender brush that I use for my pinks and yellows. And I've got, this is our basic mask. So these are probably a staple for the craft room if you haven't got them yet. They're the basic pattern decorative masks, and you've got 4 of them in there with various patterns. But for this one, I'm going to be using the dots. So I've got everything piled up here. So this is the pale papaya ink. Okay, I'm going to make sure my mask is clean, because I'm using the same mask for various colours, and I don't want the colours to sort of cross-contaminate. So I'll have to make sure I remember to clean it thoroughly between colours as we work our way through. Okay, so I'm going to just pop, first thing to do is pop the mask onto the card base. You could sticky tape or masking tape or washi tape it down if you wanted to be sure that it's not going to move. But I've done a few of these now, so I think I'll be right. So we grab the pale papaya on our blending brush, and what I'm going to do is I want it sort of really sort of darker at this side, fading away to nothing on the left hand side. So I'm actually going to start over here because it will come off quite thick to start with. I'll hold both of them as firm as I can, and just with the sort of circular motions sort of moving from right to left. So as I say, it will get paler and paler as we get to the left hand side of our card. Okay, it's always fun. You think you've done the right thing, but you pick it up and you see what you've actually done. So there is our dots. It sort of does get paler as you go to the left, which is what I was actually after. So that's our first blending brushedness. Okay, so here again I have the famous 2-inch strip of the pale papaya in colour collection paper, and I'm just going to glue that straight over that that left hand side. So really you could have just blended over here, but as I said, I wanted it to fade away, so I sort of used that right hand side just to get some of the ink off the blending brush. So we're going to pop that. So that's been cut exactly the same length as the card. So it's 5 3/4 long, and that should just fit perfectly over there like that. Okay. So far so good. And I'm going to clean off my mask for the next one. Let it over there to dry. Okay, so next steps. What I'm going to do is grab the peach, Sweet as a Peach, if I can find it, Sweet as a Peach stamp set, which is this one here, which has become one of my firm favourites out of the new catalogue. And I'm going to stamp 2 sets of the cute little peaches. So there's a cute little peaches there in a set of 3, and 2 sets of the branches that correspond with it, just like that. Just grab, so the branches themselves are in Pear Pizzazz. And the peaches, I'm going to stick with the pale papaya. So let me just get a block, which I tidied up everything and put all my blocks away, which was probably a silly thing to do. So forgive me if I crash there just briefly. Okay, so there's our block for our leaves. Now, this stamp is quite sort of flexible, and because there's a die that fits it, you have to make sure that you let it take its natural shape when you put it on the block. If you distort it in any way, you're going to find that it doesn't die cut properly, because obviously die cuts are rigid and they don't move. So whatever you put, whatever shape you put through, it has to be true to the die. So that's the branch. And I'll swap over to this one. And as I say, the little peaches are in pale papaya, which should still be here somewhere close at hand. Should. Here. Okay, you can tell I take my glasses off to see up close, and then I can't see anything sort of more than 40 centimetres away, so it makes it a bit tricky. And then just the peaches. So they have different separate dies, so you can actually die cut them both out. You don't have to stamp them all together, which is really nice. So there we have our peaches for our decoration. I'll pop that aside because I have actually die cut and stamped and die cut some examples already. So there's 2 branches and 6 peaches. I don't drop them on the floor. There we go. So that's what we need to finish off our card. Plus I've got a little sentiment box, which is sort of the theme running through all these cards. I think most of them anyway, is the little sentiment box from the colour and contour die set, or contour dies, I think they are there. So they've got that as well. So what I'm going to do is pop the peach sort of stems, the branch, onto the card just with glue. It's just a little bit of glue on the main parts there, in the middle of the stem. And I'm going to start. So the idea with this design is that you hide as much as possible that central line, so that the paper just seems to disappear behind your feature images, and then the dots appear magically on the other side. So what you need to do is line up your images, your stem in this case, with the join between the paper and the cardstock, so that that transition happens, behind the scenes, so to speak. So there's our thing in there, and I love the green. Green always makes something pop to me. That's probably because I'm a green blue girl, as my ladies know. Okay, so then I'm going to pop. I might do both stems actually. So the second stem, same sort of deal. Want it over the gap between the 2 cardstocks, and I'm going to pop this one at the bottom and work up. So it does leave a slight gap in between the 2, but I'm going to bring in my sentiment box and cover that over, so it'll look like a continuous row. So there's our bottom one there. So now with my dimensionals, I can bring in these peaches. Gosh, I have a bit of trouble with this batch of dimensionals, I can tell you that. Thankfully the later batches are not got the same problem, but I just want to use these and not waste them. So if you haven't seen this peaches one before, then obviously you must be new to my channel, because I've used it several times. These branches actually have little gaps in them, and what's actually designed for is that you pop the peaches or the blossoms, which is the other stamp that uses it, so that they just fit in and slightly cover over those little gaps. So that's where the peaches are supposed to go, or the blossoms, as I say. So we can use those and pop those in there. It just helps you realise where things are supposed to go. Okay, it's coming together nicely. So you've seen the sort of the theory of this design. So put your thinking caps on and see what you think you'd like me to use for the last one. The last one is in the fresh freesia. So that's the colour. So I'm thinking it has to be something floral or something. So anyway, keep your thinking caps on and let me know what your suggestion is. One there, and the last one. Goes in there. Okay, so that is our peaches all there, nice and ripe and ready to taste. They look lovely to me. Okay, so sentiment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a length of the beautiful papaya ribbon, which is just really, really lovely and sort of glimmery and sparkly, which is that's a crafting term, sparkly. And I'm going to just take a length of that. I'm going to just sort of fold it into two, and I'm going to pop that behind my sentiment box across the middle like that. I'll just pop that aside at the moment. I do need to stamp my sentiment first. I did yesterday's without stamping the sentiment and it was a bit of a disaster. So I've got a happy birthday one. I might make this a thanks so much one from the set as well, just to shake it up a little bit. And grab some black ink. Thanks so much. And it fits perfectly in the sentiment box, which is nice. Not exactly straight, but that's the joy of handmade. Not much very straight at all, to be honest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab some more dimensionals. And for this, I'm going to use the edges because I want to actually trap that ribbon plus have enough overlap to sort of attach it to our card. So you have to sort of go, am I going a little bit furry there? Doesn't look very clear. I'll just give my camera a couple of seconds just to refocus. Sometimes it has a little bit of trouble with distances. Bear with me, apologies for this. It seems focused there. I hope it is for you guys. Just let me know if it's not focusing. It, as I say, takes a bit of a while to sometimes to adjust to all the moving around. This is my work camera, and I suppose it's just used to people sitting in one spot and waffling on for hours and hours without doing much movement. So when it actually does my crafting, it struggles a little bit. So I'm going to use the whole edging strip of this one plus those little bits. It's just the last leftovers of a set of dimensionals. I'm just going to pop the little ones there. You probably think it's excessive on the dimensionals, but as I say, you need to trap the ribbon and attach the sentiment box. So you do need a few more than you would normally use, and it's a good use of our leftovers as well. Just checking. Stay there, guys. So I'll pop that up there. Might be a bit long. And then I'll pop the other bit on the other side. And that should be plenty. I've probably overdone it, to be honest, but since the ends were there, I might as well use them. And that should be plenty to grab that ribbon. Definitely overkill there. Okay, so we'll grab our ribbon in. As I say, I'm just going to flip it over, fold it in half, and then, okay, so I want that end, I want the loop at the left, this left-hand end. Okay, so just attach that to our little, yep, that's good. So I'll bring that in now and use the rest of those dimensionals just to add that in. And as I say, that's going to cover over the gap between our two lots of peaches, which is really good. Quite handy, actually. Pop that in there. So lots of nice dimensionals to do the job. And then I will just give those a little banner end, lining it up with the edge of the card. There we are. Lovely. So I really, really like that ribbon. As I say, I think it just lifts that a little bit and adds a little bit of bling. But can never have too much bling. So let's find our rhinestones. I'm just going to use basic rhinestones for all these cards just because I have lots and lots and lots and lots of them around the place. So it's really quite handy because the large rhinestone fits perfectly the size of one of those little what are they? Blending dots that we've made. So you can just basically pick a couple of those and pick and just replace them with rhinestones. Perfect. You don't even have to think too much as to where you're going to put them. Okay, so that is my first card with this sort of designer series paper blending technique. So that's just a copy of the original one that I showed you. But as I say, I think I'm going to use that one quite often in my little stash. So we've done our pale papaya. So we've done our pale papaya, and I've already done the soft succulent. So let's move on to one of the other colours, one of the other in colours. Which one will we do now? Just find where they all are. Okay, so there's a really lovely pink, polished pink. And as soon as I looked at it, I thought, I think I haven't had the strawberries out for a while. So let's do the pink with the strawberries. So I'll just push everything to the side. Same deal as before. We've got the Whisper basic white thick card base. Okay, and this time I'm going to use, I might actually use the same blending brush because I'm actually going a shade darker. It doesn't matter too much. I'm going to bring in my, that's magenta pink. I don't want that one. That's too bright. I've got to find my pink. Excuse me, I should have had it out. Or have I got it out? Here it is. Is this it? Yes, polished pink. Beautiful, beautiful, bright pink there. So I'm going to do our mask with the pink this time. So there's our mask, and I have cleaned it off. I remember that part. And I'm going to use the brush with the pink and lay our mask down, and the same deal, same thing I did last time. Just get some pink onto the blending brush, hold that in place. Starting at the right hand edge because I want to get rid of some of the pink early in the piece. And then move to the left as it gets paler and paler. Okay. Somebody's going to say, oh, pink and red. Oh my goodness, Julianne, you've gone crazy. But hey, it's going to be bright regardless of what I do. It's going to be bright with that pink. So I'm just cleaning off my mask and let it dry for when we come back soon. Okay, so I might get rid of that. So for this one, I'm going to use, and it's an old friend I haven't had out for a little while, the Sweet Strawberry stamp set, which is also still carried over to the current catalogue, which is great, and it has a punch. So if you're relatively new to stamping, you don't have a huge stash, or you don't have a cut and emboss machine, the punch stamp set combo is absolutely a lifesaver. So you can, you can still get that wonderful clean cut look from your cards, but you don't have the expense of a die cutting machine. Sorry, I'm making funny noises while I get the rest of my, as you can see, I've done it already, so you don't have to watch me. And I've given you a bit of a hint about the next one. No, I haven't. I'm not on the screen. That's good. I was going to give you a hint to the next one, but I don't think that's too much of a hint. There you go. So I've got strawberries and things, but I'll show you how to do the strawberries if you haven't seen this bundle before. Just let me get everything out of the way. Okay, so the punch actually has all the 4 elements of the stamp set already in place there. So it can be a bit of a waste of cardstock if, say, you just want the strawberry or you just want the leaf. You end up feeding a whole piece of cardstock in there and just getting the one that you want. So I find the best way to do this is to cut yourself a template in the shape of the punch. So here I have here, and it doesn't have to be in any particular cardstock. I've just cut myself one sort of blank from the punch. Okay, then what you can do is, if you grab your block, and I know for a fact I left that here, if you grab your block, what you can do is just, I've already done it, I didn't want to undo it, but I'll show you. So say you pop your, in the shape of your template, you pop your stamps in, so you can feel when they're in the right place, because they sort of butt up to the edges of the template. And then you pop this one in. Around the right way would help. Make sure I've done that right. Yep, that's it. No. Got to also make sure you got your template up the right way. Might be a good idea to write this way up on your template, just so you know. So I was about to do that back to front. So you pop all your pieces in. I think I'll probably come back and find it was in the right way. Pop all your pieces in, so just like that. Then bring your block in and block them all up at once on the same block. Okay, so now when you actually, and I'll bring this in, now when you actually stamp that in black, there we are, you will be able to bring your punch in here, and everything is in the right place to be punched out, if that makes sense. So you can just position that and everything is aligned, and you're not wasting cardstock doing bits and bobs that you're not actually going to use. So the stamp set is really nice in the fact that, and I'll just get rid of these things from the peaches. I'm going to end up with stamp sets all over the place here. The stamp set has infill colour stamps as well. So what you need to do is, just once you've got your strawberry stamped, you can pop the infill stamp onto a block. Grab your, in this case I'm using real red for my strawberry. What else, I hear you say, what else could you use? And that just colours in your strawberry in one stamp, which is really, really good. So no mucking around. So what I've done is I have stamped several sets of all of those. I've got the strawberry in real red, as we mentioned. I've got this little blossom in the polished pink, just to bring that colour through. I've got the strawberry stalk in a soft succulent, and I've got the separate leaf in evening evergreen. So apart from the real red, I've used all the colours from the in colours in here as well, just to sort of keep with the theme. And then you punch those out with the punch, and you've got all 4 sets of your images without much wastage. So here I've got 4 sets of each. Okay, so that's all already cut and coloured and cut. So we'll bring back our card base now. Same deal as we did before. This might get a little bit boring by the end. I'm going to bring in my polished pink 2-inch strip. And pop it to the right-hand side. You could mix it up and put it to the left-hand side if you wanted to. But I'm sticking with the same thing just for consistency today, so I don't have to think too much. There we are. Okay, so that's the start of that one. I'm going to pop that to the side because these little strawberries need a little bit of assemblage. So each of them has their stalk, so you need to pop a tiny bit of glue on the top, just top centre there, where a strawberry stalk would be. Not the bottom, which I've seen somebody do. Depends what sort of breed of strawberries you're used to, I suppose. There are different shaped ones, I know that for a fact. And then you pop your stalks on. So probably best to do this before you go any further, just so you can leave enough room between them once you've got them on the card. So now we have 4 freshly picked real red strawberries. There we are. Okay, so that's the 4. So what I'm going to do again is use my images to cover the gap between my cardstock and my thingies come off. Maybe didn't use enough glue. There we are. So I'm going to use my strawberries to cover the gap between the cardstock and the blending. So I'm going to just pop them sort of along there, and sort of I'm going to try and stagger them sort of like at different sort of angles, just for a little bit of interest. Put one at the bottom just so I know I'm going to cover that bottom there. And then pop another one. Have I got that the right way? No. There, my symmetry's taken over. Okay, so we've got that there. Okay, so that's really cute. I quite like that. That's a cute little card. I might actually put them closer together, the top 2 and the bottom 2, because as with our peaches, I can actually cover that middle gap with our sentiment box here. If I bring that in like that, you can see the centre gap is covered, which is really good. Okay, so I'll glue these down. Yeah, and I am going to have to glue them down this time because they are going to overlap. The sentiment box is going to be dimensional as well. And I'll end up with too much pile up, dimension build up. That way. So this one's got to go that way. Again, covering over the gap. Okay. Okay, there we are. Then I've got these little blossoms, which I thought, because they're the polished pink, they'd be nice to sort of tie it all together with the polished pink that's on the card itself. I'll just pop those around the place. And last one. And I've got my leaves as well, so I can pop those in. So I'm going to pop my sentiment box just there to save the spot so I don't go too mad with things, which I know that I do sometimes. My ladies will attest to that. just pop a few of these. I don't know if I'm going to use all 4, to be honest. I think there's probably enough of this happening as it is. Maybe pop this one in the center, coming out from there. How's that? Okay. I think I really like that. I haven't seen that one. I just cut the bits up thinking that's what I wanted to do. And it's turned out probably really, nicer than I thought. It's really quite cute. I like that. She says, patting herself on the back. Okay, so we need a sentiment happening. So I'm going to pop, if I can fit it, I'm going to put happy birthday from the strawberry set. Might as well stick to what we're doing. Get rid of the thanks so much there. We're on the strawberry set. If it fits, I'm going to have to experiment a bit. There's a happy birthday, you sweet thing, and it should just fit. So again, in my black ink on my little sentiment box. These, even if you didn't buy the flowery stamp, the sentiment box in the contour dies is really, really handy. It's got lots of sized layers there, and there's a really nice one that's quite good for a backing layer also, which I can just show you in a minute. I've actually got it here from one of my new class. I use it. So this one here, this is my new fun fold class if you're interested, just a bit of cross advertising. This large one here, this large sort of layer that I've got is the large one from the contour dies, which is really good. It just forms a whole layer on its own. And then there's the second one there that's smaller again. So they sort of layer really well with each other, and the sort of scalloped edges actually complement each other quite nicely. And there's our little one there. So they graduate down from all the way down to that one. So it's a good little set to get if you're after some layers and some sentiment boxes and you want something a little bit fancy. It's definitely worth a go. Okay, so I've got my happy birthday, you sweet thing there. I'm going to grab some ribbon. Or do I want ribbon? Actually, no, I think I'll skip ribbon this time. I think there's enough going on with this one without the ribbon, so I don't have to go so crazy with the dimensionals this time. So we'll just dimensional that on. I might add some bling though. Some rhinestone bling. I'll pop that on. And that is card number 2. Pretty much done. I'll bring some bling in. And again, I might not just use big ones this time. I'll spread it out a bit and use some little ones as well. And that would be it. Okay, so there's our third in colour, since I didn't actually do the soft succulent one on the video. So there's our second one there today. So it's really nice. So we've done 3 colours now. So we'll bring the other 2 in. We've got our soft succulent, our pale papaya, and now our polished pink. Really nice. You can see I'm definitely developing a bit of a theme happening here. Okay, so the last one I have actually planned is the one with the evergreen, evening evergreen. I hope you've still got your thinking caps on as to what I can do with the last one. I'm going to do the evergreen one. And I thought, I don't do very many masculine cards, so I thought I'd try the evening evergreen in a bit of a masculine vein. So here's my normal card base again, and this is our 2-inch strip of the evening evergreen. Okay, so this time I'm actually going to have it as a landscape card. It's going to be this way. So let's get my green blending brush and we'll get our evergreen, evening evergreen, and my mask. And I'm going to pop the paper along the bottom. So I'll start with the heaviest colour at the bottom and hold it firm. And this is a really strong colour, so you can see definitely best to get rid of a lot of it off at the bottom. I'm just working my way up. It's getting lighter and lighter. Still not very light though. As I say, it's a very strong colour, but that's all right. It's a masculine card, so strong colours can be okay. Okay, so there we are. You can see that's quite something. Get my little wipe and wipe that off, because that's definitely going to travel across colours when we get to the next one. Yeah, I'll let that dry so we don't have a problem. Okay, so we'll bring in our little bit of evening evergreen, and I'll glue that in place. So this one, I thought another favourite that I haven't bought out for a while is the suit and tie bundle. So it's definitely a Father's Day, masculine birthday type focus set, but it's really good and I really enjoy using it if I can find it. Okay, so here's the suit and tie dies, and it goes with the handsomely suited stamp set. So this one also is continuing, thankfully, in the next catalogue, so you can keep that one. So the dies themselves are very, very handy if that's all you get. And this is another card from my upcoming Fun Fold card, where I've actually just made a polo shirt in a green designer series paper in the background there. And this again is the evening evergreen that's in the paper there with the soft succulent. So as you can see with the dies, you can create like a cute little collar and the buttons and a pocket. We'll use that pocket as well. And actually it does have a die where you can make that into a suit as well. So it's great if you've got like wedding invitations you want to do or something like that, or best man requests where you want to do a tuxedo, because you can do quite a nice tuxedo with those dies. So anyway, there's something to think about if you like that sort of thing. And as I say, that's another card from my Fun Fold class this month, if you're also interested in that. Well, there must be a leaf. Okay, so I've got my green happening there. And so I have to think of something to cover this gap. And this time I thought I would use the bow ties from the Handsomely Suited. So it's got a really cute, it's got two cute little bow ties actually, but I want to use the bigger one with the polka dots. So what I'm going to do is stamp 4 of these little bow ties. Get rid of this. And that stamp set over there. Okay, so 4 of these little bow ties, and I'm just going to colour them in sort of nice, bright, bold colours to cover over our gap. So you can see it's quite a sweet little bow tie there, isn't it? And it has a die, so you don't have to colour it. You don't have to cut it out. You don't have to fussy cut it. There's a die that goes with that one. So I've got 4 little bow ties there, and I'm going to colour them in. I've got cards everywhere now. I'm going to colour them in some nice basic, nice bright colours, nice complementary colours. I've got light, this is the light evergreen dye. I'll just show you that one in my blends. Sorry if I've gone too far down the thing, just let me know. Sometimes I move my way down the page to bring it closer to myself and then forget that I'm actually doing a video. Okay, so this is the light version of the evergreen, of the evening evergreen. The dark one is obviously more in line with that colour on our blending. Okay, then a really nice one in light real red. So this is a lovely bright red that corresponds with the red that we've used on our strawberries. And they're really nice little quick images to colour. There's no could blend them, I suppose, make it a little bit darker towards the middle of the bow tie if you wanted that sort of more 3D effect, but I think it's quite nice just like this. Then I've got Light Misty Moonlight, which was one of our in colours from last year, so we've got that one for another year. In colours usually last for 2 years and they sort of overlap each other, so there's a new one every year. So the colours we've been using today will be with us through till 2023, which sounds scarily close when you realise how quickly time flies. Okay, so that's our blue one. And the last one, I think I thought I'd just go for something really, really bright and use the dark, the Daffodil Delight. So you could use any colour that you, any sort of colouring that you do. You have pencils, you could use those. You have just normal blends or markers, you can use those. You can actually, with this one, and it's quite nice, is actually stamp the stamp onto designer series paper, onto patterned paper, and then cut it out. And so it looks like you've got a patterned bow tie with dots. So it's really quite good. It's a nice little bow tie, that one. So there's my 4 bow ties that I'm going to use on my card. And rather than bring my die cutting machine in, which we know makes everything wobble, I've got some already die cut here in the same colours. So as I say, we're going to be using this card as a landscape, just because I think the bow ties will look nice sort of this way, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pop those on there to cover over the gap, which is quite cute, I think. Okay, so let's do that. Just going to, will I glue them? I haven't actually thought far ahead to actually glue them or dimension them. I might glue 3 and put 1 on a dimensional just to give that little bit of interest. So I'll just glue this one. Again, covering over the gap at the end, so it looks like a transition. And then so that went that way, so that way, that way, that way. Okay, so this one, the blue one at this end. That way, that way, that way, that way. No, hang on. I can't visualise it at the moment. Too much going on in my head. That way. Okay. I'm going to pop this one on there. Move it so it just covers the seam, just like that. And then this one. And as I say, I think I'll put the yellow one because it's a nice bright one. I'll put that on a dimensional. So that one there. On a couple of dimensionals. And pop him that way. Yeah, I like that. That looks good, she says. Oh, don't move. Okay. So there we have our little lineup of bow ties. This is for a dad who's quite swish, quite sophisticated in his bow ties, or a Doctor Who fan, one of the two. Okay, so from the dies as well, we have this cute little pocket, which is the same pocket that you saw on my fun fold card there. And I've actually used the to one of the world's greatest dads, which is from the stamp set there, to one of the world's greatest dads. And I've actually popped that, this little pocket is in the Evergreen, Evening Evergreen, and I have used that stamp, and I've used white embossing. So I've heat embossed that one already. I did that last night knowing that I wanted to pop it on this card. And I'm going to pop it here on the bottom. Oh, I was contemplating putting it up there. Oh, what do we reckon? we put it up there or should we put it down here? I'm going to give you all a chance to vote as to whether you think I should put it on the dots or on the paper. Now I see it there. That's not too bad. I wondered whether it'd be too busy up there. So type away and tell me, and I'll wait a couple of seconds before I put it in as to whether it should go up the top or down the bottom. But while I'm waiting, I'll pop some dimensionals on the back. On the paper, says Susan. Dots. Oh, Michelle, we've got to, come on, we need somebody to break the tie. We've got a tie so far. So we've got Michelle saying the dots. Yep, as in at the top, yep. And then Susan saying I should put it on the paper. So we've got the paper, we've got the dots. Now I need you guys to vote. Up the top, says Maureen. Good morning, Maureen. So we've got 2 for on the dots and 1 for on the paper. Just have a look at my comments on my... Okay, got dots. We've got Renee saying on the dots. Bottom right. Oh, you guys are worse than me. So we've got bottom right, we've got dots, we've got dots. Oh goodness. Okay. Dots, dots, up the top, up the top. I think we've got more votes for up the top, so we might go up the top, I think. So I'm going to pop it just in there, just because I'm surprised at myself that I didn't think I'd like it up there, and I sort of like it. So I might pop it up there, just like that. And I don't think I'm too unhappy with that at all. So there we are. So we might bring some bling into this one, because it looks, now I've done that up there, it looks a little bit, I suppose you could put a second, if you had a Happy Father's Day or a, what have I got? I could put a second sentiment box down the bottom, but I won't bother with that now, because I'd have to cut it. So we might put some bling on there, just for a little something. I do like on men's cards, I like my bling sort of like just in a row, sort of just as a highlight down there, but I'm wondering whether, yeah, I might do it for this one. I just sort of like, 3 little bling in a row there, just as a, I suppose it's quite sexist really, isn't it? It's a gender bias that I have certain things I like to do on masculine cards and certain things you like to do on feminine cards, but anyway, that's okay. No one's getting too much problems out of it. Okay, so I'm going to pop my little blings down there. Okay, so that's my Evergreen, evening Evergreen masculine version of our card. I quite like that. I think that's really cute. So that would be, you could pop, I think inside, I think there is, with Father's Day coming up in September, we can say, have a happy Father's Day, handsome, which I don't think I've used it yet. No, I haven't. Haven't got the sticker on the back. Get rid of my strawberry. I should actually have a gap between each of these videos so I can clean up a little bit. I'm not very tidy outside the shot. So I'm going to bring in, have a happy green, have black. Happy Father's Day, handsome, which I'll probably use myself because my dad is, in my eyes, very handsome. I'm going to pop that down here. There we are. So that's my Father's Day card done. I'm early this year. And then you could probably bring in, I could bring in any of those little images just on the inside. As I say, there's a cute little bow tie there. So there's a cute little bow tie you could bring inside, or one of the big long ties. That would work as well. So you could sort of bring that bow tie theme from the outside into the inside. Okay, so that's our, and I struggle with masculine cards, I've got to admit that, but I'm quite happy with that one. I think that's quite nice. And anyway, okay, so I'll get rid of those. Be a little bit organised this time. Okay, so that's my Evergreen, evening Evergreen version. So it's turned on its side. So yeah, pretty good. Like that one. Okay, so now, have you had your thinking caps on? Because now it's your turn to suggest to me what I can do for, I better slow down a bit because I think we're out of focus again, what I can do for my last card. So it's going to be the same version. It's going to be dots sort of thing, but I need you to suggest to me what bundle you would like to see me use down the middle there. So since it's going to be dotted, and of course it has to be a bundle I've got, so I'm going to have to say yes or no if you suggest one that I haven't got. I have absolutely nothing in mind myself, so I'm completely open to suggestions. I did clean that off, didn't I? But while I'm starting, while you guys are thinking and suggesting, I'm going to start with the dots anyway. So we'll get that underway while you've got your thinking caps on. So this is our fresh freesia, which I have to say I haven't used a lot of. That's probably why the stamp pad looks so new. So I'm going to put my mask down, get rid of a lot of the ink there, and work my way to the left. Again, you've seen a fair bit of that today, you guys. Thanks for sticking with me all the way through. That's you should deserve a medal. Okay, I'm not seeing any suggestions yet. There we are. I'm not very good at that merging to nothing on the left-hand side. I might have to practice that. What about the pansy petals? Yes, Jenny, that's a good suggestion. You know I've got that one. That's going to be our suggestion. I'm happy with that one if you're keen. I think it's when I've just noticed that that's really struggled with when I cleaned off the thing. So I think that's what's making my camera struggle. So I'll just stop for a minute while it catches up. There we go. Make sure that that's okay. I'm checking it on my screen. Looks like it's catching up slowly. Focus again. Okay. You like Kathy says she likes the colour and contour. So I could do the same as this one. Could do the same as this one, but in the fresh freesia. Or I could use the other flower. Would the other flower work? You could use the stem, I suppose, or you could just use the clutch. Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea. Oh, yes. 2 good suggestions. We've got 3 for the colour and contour now. That could be the winner. Okay. And I might try. I might do. Okay, I'm going to pop this while I'm thinking. This is stalling technique while I'm thinking what I can do with the colour and contour that doesn't include the daisies. Michelle doesn't mind. Okay. Have I got the colour and contour here? Yes, I do. What I could do, so this is the daisy I used in the soft succulent one, but I sort of, don't want to do the same thing twice. The other one is this little flower here. So what about if I stamp that? Let's see how big it actually is. If I stamp it 3 times, I could go 1, sort of, and just forget that the stalk is there. 2 and 3. and just use it as a bunch of flowers rather than a sort of stalky flower. Yeah, let's give that a go. I like that idea. Thank you. Let's see. Best laid plans. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to need a big block for this, so forgive me if I clutter again. Tell me if that's not focusing for you, because it is looking like it's struggling, which means that I've got issues with my camera. Apologies for that. So just tell me if the focus is bad on what you're watching on, because I think it is struggling with my moving around, which I don't like too much. It doesn't seem to be focusing with me at all. Anyway, so you guys just tell me how the focus is. Yes, it's fuzzy. Yes, Susan, I think it probably is. Can you tell me if and when it goes bright again? If it goes, when it comes back to being sharp, it looks like it's coming back to being sharp now on mine. Yeah, okay. So either that or I have to move my camera further, I think, and I don't want to disrupt things too much mid-video. So apologies if it is blurry. I will move my camera away a little bit. It's a very balancing act between being too far away and you can't see anything and being too close that it can't handle the blurriness. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 of these little guys, but I'm not really too much interested in the stalk, so I'm just going to take it, take the top half. I think my internet might be struggling as well, which is weird because I don't think there's anyone else but me home. But anyway, Saturday morning, people are streaming their Netflix or something while they lay in bed, maybe. Or watching YouTube videos. Okay, 3 of those little blossoms. So the good thing with the colour and contour is that it has a infill stamp, so you can actually infill your colour, your flower. So let's get rid of still got the peaches on that block. Just pop that there and I'll fix them all later. Colour and contour. So here we go. So with this one, I suppose this is whether I go all the same colour. So I go the freesia or I mix it up a little bit with something a bit different. Let's have a think. I'll do a couple in the freesia. Okay, so we've got that. So this is a really nice little one. You just basically dip it into your ink, position it over your image. It's one of those ones that's not going to be 100% coloured in. So if that sort of out a little bit, I suggest you probably bring your blends in and do that way. But if you sort of a little bit, you know, a little bit, we say laissez-faire, go with it, then it's okay. So if I do, I might bring in some of the other colours, eh? Let's give them a run. So I've got the fresh freesia there. If I bring in another one with the papaya, the pale papaya. Okay, so we'll colour that one in. Okay, and the last one, what's our third colour? Polished pink. Let's go polished pink. We'll see how it goes anyway. This one really, 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 really is a spontaneous one. And then I will die cut them out, so you guys have to bear with me for a minute, but I suppose it'll give my camera a chance to recover if I take everything over to the die cutting machine. Okay, so I've got to grab my colour, contour and colour dies, which are somewhere because I use them such a lot. There we go. Oh, crash. Oh. Okay, so forgive me while I disappear because I'm going to do some die cutting. But as I say, it might give my machine a chance to recover from the changes in focus. So just a couple of, what have we got that I can remind you of at the moment? We've got a 15% off paper sale coming on from the 1st of July, which is fun. We've got, if you're a demonstrator, we've got the next mini catalogue pre-order starting on the 1st of July as well, which is awesome. So if you'd like to be on that and you're not a current demonstrator, please, and you live in Australia, please reach out. I've got people in my living room. I can hear them. 2 and 3. I'm going to colour in these little leaves, I think 2. Okay, what else have we got happening? Yes, lots of happening. Celebration happening for customers from the 3rd of August, which is really exciting. I love celebration. It's where you get freebies, when you spend money and get freebies, which has got to be good. Okay, so apologies, I'm back and hopefully my camera has recovered. Looks like it has. Okay, so we've got our 3 little flowers here. So what I was thinking I might do is sort of bring them like this. So we're covering over the gap between our paper and our dots. Something like that. What do you reckon? Give me some thumbs up or give me some card making love if you think that that's a good thing to do. As I say, I think I'm going to cut off these stems even further up so that they are just concentrating on the little blooms. So I might chop them sort of about there, I think. And this one as well. And then this one as well. Okay, I might bring in a green to actually just colour in those. I love green. When you add something, a card can be sort of, nice. But then if you just add the right green, it really lifts it, like the leaves or something. So I'm just going to try a little bit of Granny Apple Green. That ends a little bit dead. It's a shame that sometimes the what is it? The brush end goes a bit manky before the rest. So just a little bit of green in there. I might grab the ribbon this time. We might as well go whole hog and use the whole thing. So where's my ribbon? Here. So I've got just get a length of the ribbon. This is the fresh freesia ribbon. I've got a little bit more than I actually need there, but that's cool. I can always trim it off. So let's do these. We've got that one there. Actually, I might put that one in the middle and highlight the other 2 colours a little bit. Okay, just getting those in somewhere where I'm happy with them. Just like that. What do we think? I think I like that. I think that's good. I'm glad I used those other colours because I think they sort of highlight it really nicely. And then I've got another little sticking with my theme, I've got another little sentiment box from the contours set there. I can pop that in there. Yeah, I think that's going to work really well. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so what are we going to do with our ribbon? Ribbon in there somewhere. Yeah, I think that works. Visualizing it as I go, which is a little not my forte. That was, those guys who know me well probably realise that was a real leap, saying that I would do whatever you said, because I'm not a spontaneous person. When it comes to my cards, I like to plan them to the nth degree. So there we go. So there's our pale papaya one, and then our polished pink one. Yeah, we'll bring in our beautiful fresh freesia in the middle. Oh, so cute. You guys have good taste. Okay, so then we'll bring in from the stamp, what have we got? You're absolutely amazing. That fits with this little sentiment box really, really nicely. So I might go with that one. And then you can put like a happy birthday or a thank you or anything really on the inside, or nearly everything. I made that with for my mum the other day because she's caring for my dad at the moment, and I don't think she's feeling very amazing. I think she's just feeling plain old tired. And I think she really appreciated. She sort of looked at me and said, "Do you really think I'm amazing?" And I said, "Yes, Mum, I really think you are." It's hard for them, I think, when they get older and the roles are changed, because it was Dad that was always looked after Mum, and now the shoe's on the other foot. It's very tiring for her. Anyway, happens. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to bring the mood down there, but as I say, some people just need to be told they're amazing now and then, and it really makes a difference for whatever occasion. Okay, so we're going to pop that one there. I'm going to bring my ribbon in underneath. I might actually, because I've got such a length of ribbon here, I might go 3 times on the folding, which means I'm going to have to absolutely go crazy with the dimensionals to catch it. Okay, so I'm going to use my edge bits again. Hopefully that focus has stood up okay towards the end. Apologies for that earlier on. If you've been bearing with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Through the bad focus. I should have known it wouldn't be a very good camera, because actually work bought it for me. So you know what workplaces are like sometimes. It's probably the cheap by the dozen version of a camera, so I might have to invest in a good one for myself. We've all been working from home still, even though we are over 12 months since the first viruses, but we're still all working from home. I think they're a bit worried that we might have an outbreak, and they don't want to be responsible for having told everyone that they have to get back into the city, which is probably safe. It's quite good. Get lots of crafting done during the day when I'm supposed to be working, so that's got to be a good thing. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll bring in our ribbon 3 ways. just work out what angle I want it at. I want it sort of like that, don't I? Yep, so I want it like that. There we are. And bringing that in. There's a lot of ribbon happening there. Maybe probably overdid the ribbon a bit, but hey. Maybe two passes would have been sufficient, I think. There we are. Okay. There we are. So, and some bling. Always need some bling. I'll bring these back in since they're nice and handy. And I'll do some dot covering again. So we'll do some up here. And down here. I might bring a bit further out. Oh, where are you going? Apologies, I've worked my way down again. Well, I actually want one over here, don't I? To get the sort of triangle thing happening. So I'll put one over here. Okay, so there we are. That's the card that we made together as a group. I hope you liked that one. I think that's really sweet. Well done, you guys. Inspiring me yet again. Okay, so we've done all 5, and thanks for bearing with me. This is probably the longest video I've ever done. We've done all 5 of our in colours now with the sort of same sort of design, and sort of using the different bundles and things. So I'll bring them all in so you can have a look at them with awe, she says. Okay, so we've got our dad one. There's our strawberries. Here we are. So here we are. We have all our in colours, and they are just so pretty. I was a little bit disappointed when I lost some of my favourite colours when the last in colours went, but I actually think these rival them as far as some of the, I love the papaya. I think the papaya is my favourite. Anyway, you guys tell me which one your favourite is. I think I actually like the one we've just made together. I love that fresh freesia one. That's beautiful. Anyway, and I think the peaches are my favourite as well. So I might bring some Wink of Stella in and give those strawberries a bit of a oomph. Now I look at them, I think they could probably do with some Stella treatment, but you probably won't notice that on the camera too much. The pears would be, the peaches are good done with the Stella as well. So bring your Stella in and go a bit crazy with that. So yeah, the last one, who said the last one? Yeah, Jenny, I think I do like the last one too. I think it's because of the colour. I think the colour is one of my favourites. Anyway, so that's my cards for today. Thank you so much for bearing with me all the way through, everyone who did. Thank you for your wonderful suggestions on that last fresh freesia one. I hope you really enjoy that. You could think of so many different combinations you could use with this cute little technique. If you get inspired, please pop into the craft room and then take a picture and show me what you come up with. I'd love to see different combinations of colours and bundles and things like that, see how you go. But anyway, as I say, you know, quick card, 1 sheet of cardstock, and you know, and that spare 2 inches of designer series paper that we always seem to have left over when we make a card. So really enjoyed that today. I hope you did as well. Watch out for future videos. Pop over to my YouTube channel and subscribe if that's what you'd like to do, or like my page. As I've mentioned, I've got a fun fold class happening this month. Well, I always have a fun fold class, so if you're interested in doing that, please drop me a line. And if you'd like a copy of the catalogue or to talk about any of these products, I'm here for you as well. So please reach out. So have a great day, have a great evening, wherever you happen to be watching from. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay warm, and I will see you all next time. See ya.